Vigilante Wednesday on the second episode of Late Saturday Night with me, Vigilante Williamson. Just, I guess it's a late night show. It really isn't. It's really another VW casual, but it's just me. I have to have a weekly show. I have no weekly solo shows, and so here we are. And hell, Noble Iro, appreciate you being here. Appreciate anyone who's watching this live or on playback. Everyone's appreciated. In this episode, I'm going to be playing some more Streets of Rage 4. But I really want to talk about the Suicide Squad, and I've avoided everyone else's review. The only review I actually ironically heard is as much as I love Noble Iro is your favorite person on Earth or on YouTube. I shouldn't be sarcastic because he's really respectful to me. But you're not a big fan of it. But that's the one review I did see, and I agree with most of it. I actually like Suicide Squad quite a bit. And the Wookiee Lies says, I'm glad that I'm live because it was getting too real with Weight Downstream. What was happening on Weight Downstream? I didn't check it out. What was going on with that? This is going to be a light stream. The world, when it comes to a lot of stuff going on, and the jab step and the way it's getting really crazy with that. I don't want to talk about it. It's not like, oh, you're dodging stuff. It's like, no, it's getting so real. And what the fuck can I say? What can I say that hasn't already been said? So I'm trying to avoid it. I'm just trying to live, enjoy the freedom I have. Excuse me for the whatever, the burp. But enjoy the freedom I have while I have it. I don't know where this leads. So I'm not sure if that was what it was regarding. I know that's really up your alley, Wookie. But yeah, what was going on? Talk your entertainment. And I was talking mad shit on Hollywood, stuff like that. Is that too real? That seems pretty basic. But hey, whatever, man. I'm happy to entertain you, bro. Did anyone see Suicide Squad? I know there's only two people here starting off. I may get into some Streets of Rage where I wait for people to show up and then get really in depth with Suicide Squad. In fact, you know what? That is what I'm going to do. That is what we're going to do. So give me a second to share the screen. Sheesh, this is killing me, this freaking... All right, for whatever reason, it doesn't want to show. Okay. We're going to see old Tommy Hearns, and then we're going to, I don't know why, for whatever reason, didn't want to show that. Jeez, every time I click off of it, it goes away. All right. Going with the retro soundtrack. Wolverine Schnick says nom nom. Wookie Lies Matter says no. I left before I made an ass of myself. Is all good. Noble Iro's not into movies, just for good banner about anything. Huh? You know what? To be fair though, man, I'm not a movie guy. I'll be honest, I'm not a movie guy. Probably there's that stuff on the high seas. There's that as well. I have HBO Max. I think it's the one streaming service I do pay for, but everyone else pays for everyone else as far as the family goes. I don't know who I'm going to play. I'm going to go with Floyd.
These guns are ready. Are you?
But I actually enjoy Suicide Squad, and I didn't think I would. I'm not a James Gunn fan, and there are times where I roll at that because he's just, to me, not funny. He really relies on humor, and he's not funny to me. And so that's my... Look at me, I'm Captain Boomerang. Speaking of Suicide Squad. Yeah, so that's my issue with James Gunn. And he's just, he had that big controversy about being on Twitter and trying to be an edgelord. And he, at the end of the day, is still just this 2009 early adopter of Twitter edgelord. That actually is what he is. And so that's kind of what his controversy, because you can just see that in his work as these Iron Fist lookalikes really work me. Sheesh. Shout out to Wayne.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so that's my big quote unquote issue with the movie. And there's just elements that are extra, like, but it's very entertaining. It has some really well done action scenes. I thought I liked it better than the Snyder Cut, but I wasn't a huge Snyder Cut fan. So if you are, I mean, you may feel differently. I didn't see the and I'm non-spoiler. I'm not going to talk about spoilers. I think it's worth checking out. I really do. And it's so little entertainment nowadays that it is worth checking out. Not that this is high art or flawed, like this is or not flawed. This is a movie I've said about like I get fucked up. Well, Godzilla versus Kong, I said, man, if this came out 2009, I probably would be okay with watching it on FX, but nothing more. I would say similar, but this is better. I would be happy to watch it on FX. It's long, though. He's a weirdo. Gunn is what got me started over there. He's a freaking Epstein. Yeah, I know. And he had some jokes when that controversy that referenced Nambler that didn't seem jokish. He is a weirdo like that, and we could go there. And honestly, in this movie, it's so because it is rated R, and it some stuff gets pretty disturbing. There's just so much disturbance, so much violence, so over the top, so you know what I mean. It's so everything. That's the knock on it, and I is a not. But it's entertaining, and honestly, you're probably not going to get a better action movie this year. I didn't see nobody. I have to check that out before I can definitively say that. And you know what? I don't know if you would consider intersectional, but like in the movie, I'm not even going to say the character, but I would say, one of the best action scenes with a woman being the aggressor of mostly, I think it was mostly men, because actually a lot of bad guys are mixed gender, not like they, them, like it's man mixed gender, but just a mixed group. But like I as far as well done action scenes with where a female just dominates a massive group, it's as well done as I've seen, especially over the past 5-10 years. But the movie's not perfect. Like I said, it's very long. James Gunn's humor just doesn't do it for me. I probably should wait until I'm, focusing on it to talk. There are shitbags Wookiee. There's no doubt about that. So I mean, this fucker with a knife is a shitbag. I get that fucking goodness. They are all shitbags. There's no way around that. And I mean, if that's gonna be a thing, John Cena's in the movie. He's a shitbag as well, in real life. So that that can definitely impact your joy of the movie. That's definitely something to and honestly, Cena does kind of piss me off, right? Like even though he can be entertaining at elements of the movie, and yeah, James Gunn, Hollywood, they are Hollywood. So like, it's funny that you mentioned that. I was bothered today by just Hollywood because I was watching an older music video. I'm not even gonna give it an artist, and I can see, even though the layperson may say this is harmless, I can see the occultic references in it, and it bothered me that so much had been corrupted for so long. And so it was like a really older song, and it bothered me. And so I mean, there's some stuff that makes you, oh man, that's cool. That kind of makes you scratch your head, I would say. And if you're looking for it, you can find it. Overall, it's like I said, solid, entertaining action flick, as good as you're going to get nowadays. That's just the reality, unfortunately. Not that it's perfect. That's exact. That man walking. That's the review I would say as well. Oldest kid joined Suicide Squad, not an actor winner. But I'm getting fucked up. Hold on, let me pause and read it. Oldest Dad Man walking. Hell, Dad Man. He says my oldest kid enjoyed the new Suicide Squad, as did I. Not an Oscar winner, but more entertaining than Kong versus Godzilla and MK, in my opinion, and in mine as well. I absolutely agree with that. And you can't untake the red pill. No, you can't. You can't. Nor would I want to. Nor would I want to. Once you know, you see the shit everywhere. Yeah. And hell, Parrot Head, appreciate you being here. As people go in, I'll go a little bit more in depth into Suicide Squad. A review will not be. I'll try to be I'll be spoiler free. Oh, gotta get to these things. Jesus, he was last time I reach. Jesus. Goro. Shit, no, stupid. That sucks. I'm getting fucked up. Jesus. He deflected the knife. That's pretty cool. I know I suck, but he is a lot harder than he looks. And then he counters stuff. And yeah, Wookiee is always updating his icon. Jeez, I thought I would kill him before he got the punch off. All right. That was an ordeal. Thank you, anyone who's joining. I've talked a little bit about it, and we are going to talk Suicide Squad. Probably play more Streets of Rage when we're done, and talk about whatever else you guys want to talk about. Like I said, I will talk about it because I respect you guys and you want to talk about it. I'm not really keen on talking to Jab Step because it's very depressing what's going on and where this is all leading inevitably. And so it's not but hey, I love my viewers. I much rather, for my sake and yours, provide just something fun and go in a different direction. But if it's something you guys, and then hey, also kind of, we talked a little wrestling in the last episode. I think it's kind of relevant because is that it? I get it. Nope, that is it. Game over. You know how long it takes to find a pic of a Sith Wookiee? Not easy. You suck at gaming. What? This is on hard, by the way. This is hard. Pull in the center room and work them high. I see. You suck at gaming, Vigilante Williamson. Stick to what you know. I've had fun. I have fun in this. Congrats. And we is here. I have fun as I hit the wrong button. Trying to get salad. I think I'm doing okay for hard. I mean, I'm sure that, listen, like my man K2J, he's a real expert at this. I'm not on his level. And I'm not even where I used to be with Tekken. He's really good at that. He's really good at a lot of stuff. Check out K2J, the Shadow Dweller. Really good gaming channel. But I'm not on his level. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just not. Trying to. Oh no. Oh well. Guess I won't get that turkey. I should have got it, but I have full health. I was trying to see if I could fight them, and then just any health it cost me get the turkey. It did not work out that way. Shit, I was trying to grab him. Grab this bitch. Shit. 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 One out of 6 was well. Okay, I watched it. I thought it was better than the first one. I wish they had James Gunn. He's great with Guardians, but Suicide Squad should be a darker tone. What? You couldn't beat the Psylocke level? I could not. Oh, you said should not had James Gunn? Maybe. 7-11 was an inside job. 1-6 was what? Yeah, I mean, that was the massive psyop. Kicking back in the room, smoking the other night, and I realized I got clear. Oh Jesus, Wookie. What? Oh boy. It had a pretty dark. Well, you know what? It was tonally inconsistent. I can't even say that. That movie was tonally inconsistent. That's not. Because James Gunn. I don't think James Gunn did a good job of Guardians. I'm sorry to say, I don't really like James Gunn's style. I like this movie because it fit. I'm trying to get this thing. But I'm not a James Gunn guy. And this was a very James Gunn movie. But it worked to me. And it was fun and action-packed enough. And the fact is, you know what? I probably would like Guardians watching it now a lot more than I did the first time and the only time I watched it. Because it's just the time we live in, we just don't get anything fun. I mean, it was so tonally inconsistent. I can't say it was outright darker, but there were darker things that happened, darker decisions being made. So like it's like really, but because James Gunn is like the guy who has to make a joke at everything. He's this 2009 Twitter edgelord that just never stopped, and he has to make a joke at everything. And there are a lot of times where this movie, like, not literally farts, but like that's what the tone does. It's just like, okay, you could take, and it could have took itself more seriously throughout. That's something I would also say. But it's and like I say, I don't like James Gunn's humor, but the action sequences and the amount of it, and I mean there are some fun moments. There's times where the humor works for me. It's a fun popcorn movie. Star Wars a deep cut. The music paid off. Yeah, the music was fine. But like, God, that style. There's just time. Oh man, you just did this scene 5 straight times where the music does something. Like I said, there are times where it fucking works. Star Wars a deep cut. Yeah. And I'm trying to stay spoiler free just for anyone. I mean, you guys, whatever. I may not read everything. It's too spoiler, but I do want to stay spoiler free. So he was like that in the Dragon Con panel, says Wolverine schnicked. He jokes a ton. Yeah, you can just tell. Except for the cop across the street. I think if it hits the fan, he'll be on my side anyway. Oh boy. Wookie. Goth did the same though. I'm not Goth. Are you talking about Gotham? Or are you talking about? I'm not sure. I mean, but there's some cool scenes. Oh, Guardians. Well, I didn't like Guardians. I think what worked, and I think people have said, "Oh man, this is just rated R Guardians. I agree with that. But like I think they're underrating how much that adds to it. And like the violence and the over the top violence element that Guardians didn't have. That almost Tarantino-esque element as I dive trying to give a review. And I'll probably stop after this game over since hates my gaming. And I cannot walk and chew bubblegum. But I'll get into it. I'll probably repeat what I said a lot. But so I'm not a fan of Guardians. And a lot of there's some elements. Listen, there's some things I like about Guardians. Some more things I don't. James Gunn style wears on me. But I guess why I enjoy this movie. Damn it. Okay. Somebody said work him in the middle. I gotta not hit him when that was smooth. When he's in that dodge mode. And then dodge that. I guess he just knows what happened. Guardian was a weird choice for a big Marvel movie. Okay. Damn it. Oh yeah, this had to be a rated R. I would not enjoy this movie if it was a PG-13 movie. That's just it needed to be rated R. It really did. And it needs to be rated R for me to be enjoyable because to me the action sequences are what make the movie for me. The action sequences, and there's some character stuff that's pretty cool and pretty interesting. Even though a lot of times the tone fucks that up, there's times where it's done well. Just R-rated jangling keys. I don't necessarily disagree. I don't necessarily disagree with that, but it was fun enough. Had good enough action sequences for me to turn my head off for a couple hours. So I would it looks like a lot of people did see it. If you hadn't seen it, it's worth a check out. That I'll say. It ain't high art, and it's not, it's flawed. By no means is this gonna be. If you liked, what's it called? The Losers, which I think is a DC property as well. I want to say it had Chris Evans and Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I know Jeffrey Dean Morgan for sure. I can't remember Chris Evans, and that was a fun type movie. That's what this kind of puts me in mind of. It's very similar to, except this one has a bigger budget. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong about that movie. I believe that's what the movie is called. Damn it. I'll check it. For current year, yeah. So yeah. For current year, it's solid. That's the thing. For current year, you're probably not gonna get a better action. I won't say action because I haven't seen Nobody, and maybe Nobody's a better action. You're not gonna probably get a better big budget action movie this year than that. Now that isn't, it is this year. It is graded on the curve, but I just don't see it happening. And I will be happy to see the movie that proves me wrong. I'll be happy to see the movie because there are some really well done action scenes. There's some really cheesy ones, lots of cheesy decisions. That's what James Gunn is. If you're a diehard James Gunn fan, you'll love this because it's so it's the James Gunniest movie. It's more to me. It's almost James Gunnier than Guardians. It's like every moment another cheesy fucking joke, especially the first 40 minutes. Even though at the same time it doesn't stop with the action either. So that's where it's like you just take the good with the bad. At least that's how. I really like the action, and it looks like I'm probably gonna be gotcha grab. Oh man, looks like I got one way out of that one. Time to use the He-Man sword. Uh-oh. Shit, couldn't get to it. Rick Flag. He was pretty good, actually. I did like Flag. I did like Rick Flag. And Dune will do well. Is that? I mean, yeah, that's good. That's an epic movie, and I'm sure it's gonna have a share action. But I don't know if that's like a hardcore action movie. I'm not sure if that's a fair way to put it. Like Super. Oh man, I don't know if I saw that one. Made it or not? Yeah, I was right on the damn thing, and they got me in a combo. So yeah, hey, we went about 20 minutes. So I thank you for everyone funneling in. I already kind of blew my load as far as the Suicide Squad, kind of giving my thoughts. But I appreciate it. First off, shout out to Glenzer who sent a late super chat on Thursday's VW Casual. So I appreciate that. He just said another great show, VW. And thank you anyone who thinks this stuff is a great show. I feel off. I feel like I'm not streaming enough. I'm trying to get better. And that man walking, he says it's late. I'm going to call it a night. No worries. Take care. You take care. Shut up, crime. Stop sharing the screen. So Suicide Squad. Like I said, I want to give a non-spoiler review. I kind of already have. I thought it was a solid movie. I especially for current year. Had some really well done action scenes. Decent story. It went a bit twisty, and it takes itself so unseriously that it kind of fucks with the stakes. It's so violent that it kind of fucks with the stakes, but at the same time, it's kind of a gift and a curse because I really do like the action scenes. I really do like the action sequences. That's really with the draw and the story, and a lot of characters are pretty likable and well done. The characters are pretty cool. That said, it's James Gunn, and I don't like that style. And mainly because he's not funny. If he was just fucking funnier, if he just was better at writing the jokes that he does, I would like him better. But he's not. He's not that he's not nearly as funny as he thinks he is, and everyone's giving him credit for. So that's the big flaw. So some of you guys also toss out some of the flaws. The tone is inconsistent at times, even though it's still it plays to the slapstick-ish tone. It's inconsistent, but it was at the same time pretty entertaining. It was an entertaining movie. It's as entertaining and non-woke as a current year movie. You can argue some woke-ish or intersectional parts. Rainn Wilson, Ellen, our Elliot Page, Liv Tyler, Kevin Bacon. Okay, I'm assuming that's Super. I did not see Super. I don't believe that's what it is. So let me look that up. And yeah, I hadn't seen that. I haven't seen every James Gunn movie. Yeah. Super. See, I had not seen that movie. But I mean, so that's where the shut up crime comes from. Okay. See, I hadn't seen that. I mean, I'm not a James Gunn guy. I'm not sure if that's a good movie or not. But at the same, like I said, I like this one. I like Suicide Squad. If you're just looking at something to watch current year, it's a puss. It's puss. Oh, Super is puss. I'm not trying to watch puss, but great. Okay, well that's weird. But yeah, and I guess Brightburn. That's another one, and I guess it's somewhat connected to that apparently. I hadn't seen Brightburn. I'm not a James Gunn guy. He's just not my guy. But even with that said, this was still entertaining enough. So even if you're somebody like me, who's not a James Gunn guy, who doesn't really like his style, you'll still eye roll, but you'll enjoy yourself. I think this is an enjoyable movie. Could have been a little shorter. Everybody has their origin story, and I guess it's a little silly. It doesn't take itself seriously, and there's some stakes issues, but there's some really fun and well done action and well plotted out characters. Man, Jupiter's Legacy. Who knows what happened to that? Apparently, it was one of the number one movies or number one. I'm sorry, TV shows on Netflix when it premiered, and still got canceled the first couple of weeks. I couldn't tell you what happened there. I hadn't seen that. I didn't see that either, and I got something to check out. I've talked about it. The War for Cybertron Transformers, which I also recommend people watch. But I did not see Jupiter's Legacy. What did you think of Jupiter's Legacy? What? Appreciate you being in the chat. Too good. And if anybody in the chat is willing to, if you like the stream, please like the stream. And sharing is indeed caring, so feel free to share. So, Jesus Christ. For whatever reason, I went on bounding. Well, not whatever reason. I was looking for other things to talk about. So loved it. So what was a fan of Jupiter's Legacy? I didn't hear any bad things about Jupiter's Legacy. I know it probably didn't help that it premiered so close to Invincible. I know it's a different story, but I think Invincible was so fresh on people's head that that probably hurt it. And what going Grace Randolph with the soul? I'm sure I probably just did that. Because I know it's not much more to say about Suicide Squad. And because of the time of night and it being a Saturday, turnout is not the largest. But I also appreciate anyone who shows up. Because I'm not entitled to anyone to show up. And I did start early. So that may have thrown shit off as well. Millar. Okay, I'm lost on what Millar means, unless that's whatever. But I went to Bounding to kind of see if I have other things, and they have stuff. The cross-dressing Gonzo thing is wild to me. Do you guys see that? Oh man, I guess that's something to talk about. And not sure if you guys are keeping up with the Olympics, but apparently Team USA basketball did win the gold. So it's weird to have a mixed feelings because it's sad to say there's part of me that was rooting for them to lose. And isn't that kind of sad? And I mean, I like a lot of those players. I just didn't want. I kind of wanted them to not win, to eat some humble pie. Tucked his nose. I'm not gonna lie, a little lost. I know it's a delay, but I'm not sure. Oh, Dream Team. Yeah, they're not the Dream Team. I mean, there's some good players on the team. And it's good. I mean, we should have won the gold because we're talented enough to. But, I mean, there was a small part of me, or a nice size, a large part of me, who kind of was rooting against them. And that's pretty sad. You should just always be rooting for the home country. But there was a lot of BS. Oh, Gonzo tucked. Now we're on something. What happened with female soccer? I think they won the bronze. But a story about that. So it's kind of cool. I mean, as expected, most of the team is all woke. So I think they kneeled during the national anthem. But one person, Carly Lloyd, who's a longtime member of the U.S. women's soccer team, she stood up. Let me actually make sure they won the bronze. I don't want to lie to the people. Can't be lying to the people. Can't be lying. I'm not Fox News or CNN. Oh shit! Everything's in fucking. What am I in Belgium with my fucking VPN? Yep. U.S. won the bronze. U.S. women's swift boot to the cooch. Yeah, MJ in '92 was the dream team. A lot of people say, and I tend to agree, most talented team ever assembled on any level. But yeah, they won bronze. Everybody kneeled except Carly Lloyd. It's cool that Carly Lloyd stood up. I don't know who won gold. And it looks like is it still going on? I've never cared less about a Summer Olympics. Also kind of sad. I'm not sure how many more days it has. Oh man, I'm not sure how long it goes. But yeah. Oh no, what lived in Chicago back in the Chicago Bulls day. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, I just like that intro music is so iconic when they come out. I mean, what did you know? Now that I kind of stumbled onto that topic, Yonder wins women's volleyball. The summer games blow. I think both games blow. Now that we've stumbled onto the Olympics, what did you guys think of the Olympics this year? Has you ever cared less about the Olympics? Maybe you didn't. Maybe you were still into it. Shout out to anyone who was vaulting. Maybe I think Wookie has ulterior motives to his Olympic viewing. But you know what? I didn't even watch women's volleyball. Usually, I'm good to watch that. What did you guys think of the Olympics? Did you watch any of it? And if you did or didn't, do you normally watch it? Like, did you watch it more or less than you normally do? And hail to David Serta. I appreciate you being here, man. Anyone else lurking in the chat or watching or watching the playback? Gotta shout out everyone who watches the playback because people did. What didn't know they were happening. I mean, I kind of did. I remember when they started, I just hadn't had any interest. I just had not cared any less about Olympics. I mean, I don't care about the winners. I can't say that completely because I pay no attention to the Winter Olympics at this point. But as far as, which I guess they would be next year. Well, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows if there's going to be a next year the way this world is going? But I have not cared about a Summer Olympics any less than this one. And it's a bit sad. Women's figure skating, where crowbars get taken to knees, at least back in the day. Back to my day, that's what happened. That luge. I mean, did anyone watch it? Did anyone care? Does anyone care about the Olympics anymore? Nancy, yeah. Not Pelosi, by the way. Her on Nancy, it was Kerrigan. David Serter said, only watch a replay of the wrestling win and go with a half second left. Gable, is he related to what's the guy? Dan Gable? He's a old school, not old school. Well, I guess it is old school now. Wrestler from the Olympics past. He was like one of the best wrestlers we ever had. Yeah, Nancy Kerrigan. I did. Oh man, that's sad. I mean, would you have before? Did you watch 2016 or 2012 or 2008? Because I used to like watching the Olympics. I used to care about, oh man, the Olympics are on. Watch all the different games. Watch the art. I'd watch archery. I'd watch anything Olympics, man. Back in the day, I remember fucking. Me and my sister were watching women's. Was it cricket or no? It was like handball or some shit. I think it was handball, and we were rooting for the Indian team because they had the ratchetest little uniforms and the ghettoest names. It's like, oh man, all these names seem like ghetto black names. So we were rooting for them. We were rooting for the Indian. I want to say handball, and I felt maybe it was handball. Handball is an Olympic sport. Yeah. Okay. I think it was handball. I really think it was handball. Yeah, it was handball. And we were rooting for the Indian women's handball team just for the fuck of it. Because they had a little ratchet. They were trying so hard. You could tell that they don't have money for the Olympic program like that. Yeah, Hardy took a knee at the Olympics. It wasn't by choice, though. Golly. 80s gay. Oh, his first name was Gable. Okay. But it was for Dan. So he's named after Dan Gable. I was a lacrosse. Yeah, I would watch lacrosse. There was shit to watch in the Olympics and it was interesting to watch. I'd watch the fucking what was the I can't think of the meters, but it was basically like the marathoners. Like the 10,000K or some shit like that. I can't. That's probably too much. Maybe 10,000 meters. That makes more sense. Yeah, 10,000 meters and shit, or different relays and shit, triathletes and shit, like all that shit. I would love to watch. I used to love watching that. Couldn't care less. Oh, it was Harding took the knee, and it was deliberate. Tanya Harding took the knee. Okay? I was thinking of somebody getting kneecapped, but I can't remember. Was Kerrigan got kneecapped or Harding? I'm old, so a lot of that shit all meshes together. Swam the breaststroke. Yeah, swimming was the shit. Let's care about swimming. Michael Phelps, Lochte being an asshole. Remember that shit? Remember when you cared about this shit? I missed that. So it was Kerrigan. Kerrigan on kneecap. So I was like, okay, I'm getting confused. That's my problem. Yeah. But I mean, no, she limps. Oh man, that sucks. That sucks. That was really brutal. It's fucking savage. Oh, remember the tennis player, not in the Olympics, but she got stabbed? Sports were way more savage back in the day. These fucking entitled athletes, you could get stabbed back in. I think Monica Seles got fucking stabbed. Her career was never the same. I think she may have like retired a little after that. She was like 17, 18 or some shit. We take for granted how savage we are as people. That shit used to be semi-normal. Shit, it's still semi-normal for piss bombs to go off in a fucking football game in Europe. Seles. Pretty brutal. Women's tennis got you stabbed back in the day. There were elbows and fucking basketball. Everything was more brutal. You could helmet to helmet quarterbacks. The whole sports landscape was way more brutal. And these motherfuckers are just like, doing load. And I'm not trying to say shit because if I made millions of dollars, I'd feel differently, I'm sure. But doing load management and shit, not everybody plays for the Olympics. If you're basketball, motherfuckers turn their back, worried more about being like activists than fucking, meddling. Chick on Carson. Like Johnny Carson? Like the thumbnail? So yeah, like the Olympics used to be way more relevant. I'm not sure if they will be next year. I'm not sure. I know they we're talking about the savage stuff. It ain't gonna be as savage. But it sucks. It's kind of the end of an era. It's the end of something that was special. Or the tennis player. Not sure which one on Carson. Like I don't remember that chick. But yeah, it sucks. It sucks. I really rather have cared. I really rather have cared about the Olympics. Jesus. Sorry, one of these Belgian ads came up with some demonic bullshit. Good to know the Illuminati's everywhere. It's nice to know. Cool to know, I guess. Not just our country being destroyed by evil overlords everywhere on Earth. Yeah, end of an era. I miss the Olympics mattering. And, as much as we could talk shit about the woke athletes and shit, if the society still lasts in 3 or 4 years, whenever the next Summer Olympics, I hope it matters more. I hope we don't have a bunch of people who don't like this country playing and representing this country. That's what I hope. Because that really put a lot of people off. That put a damper on it for me. And not even, and I'm sure not the only one. I'd rather have cared about Marvel, DC, or Star Wars. Hey, I wish I cared about those things still too. I really do. Like, even though I did like Suicide Squad as far as DC, I wish those things still mattered too. Those were the days. Entertainment as a whole is changing. Finding things to enjoy has become a much more difficult task. And yeah, they hate all of us, unfortunately. All of these people hate all of us. Whether we're talking about Marvel, DC, athletes, they all hate us. They all hate us. And that's what makes it so sour. That's what makes even Suicide Squad, which I enjoyed, not perfect, but I enjoyed. It's still like these people don't like me, and I know it. And hell, Basco scenario. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate it. Y'all appreciate it. They managed to put World War II on hold for the Olympics, but when there were actual Yahtzees, but now fuck woke cancel culture. Man, it is practice for that. Stephen Molyneux said that. He said cancel culture is a dress rehearsal for mass murder. If you haven't checked that video out. And a Wookiee probably has. Not sure about the rest of everyone. And Kevin has been a biatch. Not sure which Kevin. Maybe it's Smith. Maybe it's a different Kevin. And women's sports are doomed. Canada won a gold in soccer, but according to NPR, Canadian soccer player Quinn comes the first out in trans non-binary gold medalist. No one can tell which one. There's a few Kevin. It could be Feige, could be Smith. You know what I mean? Kevin! Hell, Pat S. Appreciate it. Are women's sports doomed or saved, David Serta? This is a hot take. Are women's sports doomed or are they saved? People like female tennis. People like women's tennis. Like that's something that had been followed, since I was a kid. It had always been important. That's one sport I would say. And I think women's UFC, women's MMA had kind of oh man, yeah, what? Hilarious. Take the first Hawaiian tyranny out. Tranny. I think women's UFC had become something that a lot of people enjoyed on a major level, right? Outside of that, women's sports hadn't been interesting. It just has not historically been that interesting. So like if there are trans women dunking on bitches in the WNBA, that's going to be more interesting. The fact that Canada won with a dude is more interesting. Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to say that. I don't know. I can't tell you how masculine or feminine the actual player was. I'm not sure if they were like the ma'am that we were talking about on Thursday, who was in that Star Wars shop or whatever, arguing with the shop owner. If you hadn't seen that video, you can check out VW Casual number 16 on Thursday. Or you can look for the viral video. I think it's a Star Wars shop transphobic or something like that. But if the person who played for Canada did not look like that, then that's one thing. But otherwise, I think this is going to be something interesting to watch. I think people are actually going to want to watch women's sport, a lot of women's sports that other people wouldn't normally watch. Like I said, women's tennis, and I would even throw women's MMA. Those things did get enough attention. And I mean, other sports probably will be a little bit helped. I mean, I'm not a soccer guy. I mean, I like, if I'm going to watch soccer, I'm going to watch the best. I'm not going to watch us. I'm not going to watch MLS. I'm not going to watch these juice boxers. I'd rather watch the real motherfucker, like real soccer from like Europe, like English Premier League or something like that. Wookie says the testosterone difference between a man and woman blows any amount of steroid used clean out of the water. Wow. And yes, our boy 24/7, your boy 24/7 Fusion Me is only 3 away from 500. Y'all, if you're not subscribed, please hit him up. If I'm not sure if there's a Modulani in there, and but yeah, please toss my man link. And yeah, Gina was a strong female. She was also an MMA girl. But that day, it sucks for that sport. It sucks for the sports we actually care about. The two, like I said, that actually had some mainstream attention. But the other sports are going to get a boost from this, believe it or not. Now, I'm not sure, people watch, but I think people will be interested because they want to see that disparity. People like seeing dominance. So if there's like some trans athlete in a women's sport who's dominating them, people want to watch. That's just the truth. So that's why the soccer chick has an Adam's apple, apparently. Yeah, Megan Rapinoe. Watch Manchester United, exactly. Watch the English Premier League. If I'm gonna watch that, or the Euro Cup. That's what I watch. That's what I watch. If I want to watch some actual football. I'm not gonna watch fucking the US. They suck. I'm not gonna watch an inferior product. It's not like, like if you watch basketball, EuroLeague is actually solid, like solid and good to watch, fun to watch. But like I'm not gonna watch the G League. And that's what it's like watching US soccer, men or women. It's like watching the G League. And some have Wookie. There's this one woman who caved some chick's head in. A trans woman caved some chick's head in. So they're already competing in certain MMA. I'm not sure about. I don't know if UFC has done it, but I know other smaller promotions have, and they were okay. It's going to scare people. It hasn't. It hasn't. It's not going to. Some people are too far gone to be scared by it. They're too far gone. I played the video about the I mentioned the whatever, the owner who was confronting the trans person in their store, and there was a section, sure enough, where a woman, a cisgendered woman, to be proper, cisgender woman was arguing on behalf of the trans woman, not even knowing she's digging her own fucking grave. She doesn't even know it. You don't even know it. You just gotta let them. What are you supposed to do? Yeah, I know. Wait till it's commonplace. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. As some weirdo once said,
Get what you fucking deserve.
I mean, there's no way around it. No way around it. So that has to happen. If someone videoed it, it was a fun video. We broke it down. I wasn't planning on watching the whole thing, but we did. But yeah, there was a woman who came in and argued, "Oh, this, that, and the third." But I mean, you can still see that she knew it was crazy, but she just wanted to be, liberal and out there. Just wanted to be seen. Wanted to be on the right side of history. Love that scene. Yeah, it's the best scene in the movie to me. Best scene in the movie. Hell, James Hayes. Hey, Vigilante, everyone in the chat. I hope you're doing good and feeling well. I am, and I hope the same for you. Hope the same for you. And what got the tears emoji? Appreciate it again. Anyone who's watching this stream. I know it's late. It was Saturday. A lot of people are asleep or out. Huh. I've been very surprised how much I agree with a certain sect of feminists to hate about the woke too. Oh yeah, not a question. That's what you mean, not a question. So are you talking? I've seen. Are you talking about the TERFs? Was it something? It's just trans exclusion. I think it's trans exclusionary radical feminists. And I know there's like you ever see the Red Pill, which I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen like clips of it. I need to see the whole movie. There are women who like care about men's rights and shit. I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about. Wookiee Lives Matter. And Hail Pop Culture Republic. Appreciate you being here. And Dave Serta says hail to James and everyone else. Thank you all for being here. You all are appreciated. Yeah, the TERFs. You're talking about the TERFs. Although I've been told that's a derogatory term. Okay. Yeah, all these things. It's too many subsets, man. Of everything. It's just too much. TERFs and this, that, that. But I have heard of TERFs. Honey Badgers is the group that I'm thinking of. But I've also, the TERFs are, I think, a trans exclusionary radical feminist. And the Honey Badgers is the group of women that care about men's rights and shit like that. Not sure if there's a feminist slant to it, though. So I could be, mixing things up. I'm not an expert on everything. And it's just so complicated. I'm just a humaning, hoping for the fucking best. But I think the initially we're talking about the lack of interest in the Olympics, and then we went into the trans thing. I mean, people won't understand until their daughter is being, read to by was it something? Dildo monkey, something but dildo monkey, whatever the hell it was. I covered that as well. Some big burly man is reading their daughter or son the gay BCs, that they're not going to understand it, and some are going to encourage it. I fucking had I've shown stories of a rainbow dildo butt monkey. That's the guy I'm thinking of. But I've covered stories of people saying it's okay to take your kids to the pride parade and expose them to kink. Not just take them there, but expose them to some of the sexual things. Why? Because they're sick. And that's what people are doing to their own kids. This world is crazy. I wouldn't have even known about the feminist views I held until my daughter was born. Huh. Am I starting? I'm not from the Carolina region, but I've been here for a while. I hope that accent is not coming upon me. I've been here for a while, so that happens. I'm from Michigan. But oh no, the Carolina accent. Banana Cyclops. Is that another thing? Jesus Christ. Wookie, I can't even read that. But that's sick. That's fucking sick. Jesus. Some people are demons. There's no other words for it. Banana Cyclops. No. And Serta says, yep, when your daughter gets beat out for a scholarship or a shot in the pros, you'll care then. That's the only way people are going to care. And it started to happen even before, because remember, there were states and counties that were already allowing trans women to compete with women. Or cisgendered women, excuse me. I don't want to be a bigot. Now, what's saying he knows a Michigan accent, so apparently my accent is mutating. Oh, no. And, of course, a child-appropriate prawn. That's sick. That motherfucker's a demon. I don't know who she is to you, but pure demon. Story hours. I'm lost. But yeah, that's fucked up. That's real fucked up. But beginner level. Nah, I'm really lost. Or is that again to the prime, beginner level prime? How about we desexualize culture? A lot of this shit comes from people who are just over sexualized. Let's keep it a buck. A lot of this comes from thoughts who've had their box popped too much, and it's been popped to the point where they've lost their fucking minds, and they sexualize everything. That's why they ship shit. That's why they ship Daisy Ridley and fucking Adam Driver in real life, not just as Raylos or just those characters. And they attack people's wives and shit because they're sick, because they're over sexualized, and they're trying to push that off and project that on everyone, including your children, and some of them even on their children when they have them. And Wookie's right. Wow. Yeah, these people are demons, man. There's no way around it. Crap used to get you buried in a lot of questions not answered. Yeah. And you know something, man? I know this, man. It's a lot more women involved with this shit. A lot more women. And I suckers and sons. Oh, boy. So outgrowth of postmodernism, where traditional values are rejected as outdated in favor of new schools and more supposedly rational thoughts. Suture and sons. But yeah, they rejected this basic morality as a result. They rejected basic human decency and morality. And the world is suffering for it. And this cultural assault has been happening my entire lifetime and before. And I've kind of watched it happen real time, and the society get worse and worse each few years. And now look where we are, just in general. So it's sick shit. It's sick. I thought I was gonna try to keep it positive, but yeah, I say it's already characterized as evil by anyone that knows. I think the worst part is, like, society is so well shaped by mainstream media, and I think a lot of us really forget that. So as long as mainstream media doesn't report how sick this shit is and how sick things are going, they don't even know it. You know how many people don't know that cuties happen? We think of it as this huge thing to us because we all knew about it, and a lot of people do. Millions of people did. Millions of people had no clue it happened. No clue there was a show on Netflix or movie on Netflix that did what cuties did. No clue. No clue whatsoever. And if they did, the mainstream media told them it wasn't as bad as the evil right wingers were saying. No God but themselves. That's really some Crawleyite shit. But I mean, yeah, that is how they feel. That's why, again, there's a lot of narcissism. Social media hasn't helped with that, but there's a lot of narcissism. A lot of people who believe themselves to be their own gods. Again, Crawleyite shit. But rejected morality equals empowerment. Ignorance and strength. Yeah, this is exactly what a lot of society has gone to, Wookie. And most is. And hell, rough girl. Never been so happy that I went to a private school. Hey, guys, yeah, but you know what? Private schools are getting worse, too. It was a private school. You know what? Golly, this is such a sick subject. Earlier, Wookie was talking about people who believe children should see prawn. And prawn is misspelled. You can check out earlier in the chat, rough girl, you want to see. There's a few people in the chat that I knew her. Yeah, we're in the fellowship. The fellowship of the thing, you know, the thing. Or the community. I call it a community. If it's not the community, it will be the community. But yeah, there was a private school in New York in which the teacher was, and the fucking New York Times covered it. The teacher was showing kids prawn, and it was a female teacher. Orwell rep. Yeah, Orwell was right. Hashtag 1984 is a documentary. Knowledge is power. You know, I'm going to steal this from my man Chris James on A Healthy Alternative, and a channel I need to watch more. Talks about the health of fasting and a lot of natural health tips. But he says the application of knowledge is power, and that's a very key distinction. Not just knowledge in and of itself, but the application of knowledge is power. And I agree with that. And Noble says, I am an atheist, but I think is what we see now is what happens with atheism when, yeah, I'm not going to, this ain't, even though it's technically Sunday, which is not the Sabbath, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not going to preach to everybody, right? I do believe in the Most High, the Scriptures. I do believe that the Christ walked this earth and died for our sins. I do believe that. Truly in my heart believe that. And I get that the church had been very oppressive and tried to legislate morality, which I do not agree with. But the baby was thrown out with the bathwater with the rejection of religion. And as a result, basic elements of morality have also been thrown out with them. Basic elements of human decency has also been thrown out with it. And even if you say, you know what, you don't believe in the Most High, you don't believe in anything, that's your business. Even, again, no Bible who considers himself to be atheist says what we see is when you take God away from everything. Because what a religion does, like it or not, it does standardize culture and customs. It does standardize a moral belief system amongst people. And when you eliminate that, you have people who make up their own morality. Would we have mainstream individuals doing as much to the kids? This is now more mainstream. Again, unfortunately, there's a huge section of the population doesn't realize it's happening. But would you have that if there was still a moral base? Not saying everything that, that people didn't use God for their own benefit and still do. The poverty pimp preachers and the people who are, do one thing, say they are the Joel Osteens of the world, the mega churches who won't open it up when needed, that type of shit. Aldous Huxley was right. Yeah. We do have to stay positive, spread our joy. That's actually what I want to do. But I mean, hey, I said I would talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Ignorance is bliss. Got a D in English. Oh, man. And Wookie with an emoji. That's why I'm, don't get me started. I meant to get that's why I'm a Lutheran. I'll be honest, don't know. I don't know specifics about Lutheranism. Too late, VW. Yeah. Holding fast my Christian values, religion at least gave individuals a touchstone foundation, says Rough Girl. Sadly, our schools are falling apart, which they have been for a while, says James Hayes. Teaching divisive critical race theory and intersectional feminism rather than key fundamentals of literacy, math, and science. And really, they've been fucking up the curriculum since I was in school. They kept taking away basic things. The kids are not learning anything. They're learning to agree with idiots. They're learning to do whatever to satisfy other idiots. They're learning how to be losers by these loser ass teachers. I'm not saying all teachers are bad all the time and there's no good ones. They are. And Senator Glitter Joey from Fort Bragg. So you're in the NC area, North Kakalaki. I'm from Michigan, but apparently I'm gaining a North Carolinian accent. What do you think? As I'm not sure if you're a native. No, you said you were an Army brat, if I remember correctly. So you moved around a bit. But am I starting to sound North Carolinian? Yeah, Phil Collins. With Jesus, he knows me from what? Can learn to be Gonzo. Oh yeah, Gonzo is trans now. There's a God and he's all knowing, omnipotent, and all that. Still lets the horror of the world's big and small happen. See, here's the thing. So, what about the people who actually commit those horrors? Are they not? Because this has been my response to that. Oh man, if God exists, why do bad things happen? So, if we lived in a world with no consequence whatsoever, in which no matter what you did, good things would always happen because God is supposed to make sure good things always happens all the time. What would the world be? We already see what happens with the participation award generation, right? Does that mean that the most horrific things that have ever happened, you know what I mean? They still are horrific, but often there are individuals who made the choices to put those things in motion. So what of them? If you want to live in a world, this is almost a question of do you want free will or safety? When you think about it, it's just asking that on a cosmic level. Because would you rather God take away your free will to make sure you're safe and take away the consequence of free will and that free will just to make sure those horrors don't happen? Or would you rather have the safety and the free will, or would you rather have the free will, which unfortunately the consequences of it, which allow those horrors to happen? That's my take on it, Wookie. Yes, children are learning to be accepting, being dependent and accepting of being a victim. Children and adults. A lot of times people just blame the millennials, which I don't know why, because we're getting old, or the Zoomers. Never forget about the Gen Xers and the Boomers who go along with it too. You can go on TikTok and find teachers that are older than me in their 40s, 50s, preaching victimization and dependency. So, I mean, it's not just the Zoomers and Boomers and children, but they are definitely being taught that. And that's the way they're guiding them. And Rough Girl's family owns plantation farms in Missouri, where she's originally from. Oh, that's the origin story. And they typically get away. A lot of them do. Made these people knew exactly what they were going to do. We're talking about infants, cancer. It sucks. Horrors happen. But I would stand with dangerous freedom rather than Slavic security. Like that, I mean, it sucks, but like what do you do? Like, what do you do? Like, in order to live in a world where that didn't happen, you would lose your free will. And I'm not saying, what if the people, if an infant gets cancer and there's some chemical reason, what about them? They get let off the hook because the Most High didn't, quote unquote, stop it from happening? I don't see things that way. And yeah. I would ask someone involuntary held in high. Would you ask that to someone involuntarily held in a hospital? Um, just giving you the devil's advocate. Talking about me. You talking about like what I asked as far as the free will. I mean, if you're involuntary held in the hospital, obviously you want to get the fuck out. And being involuntary held in the hospital may be the future for us all. Yeah, I'm not. I just disagree. Like I said, I believe in the Most High. I'm not asking everyone else to, but I mean, my way of rectifying that it comes down to the free will argument. Either we're going to be safe and cushions and therefore have no free will to ever lead to whatever issue, safety or security, or freedom. We can have safety, security, and no freedom, no free will, and maybe that's superior. And it looks like we're going to end up with neither, unfortunately, because that's how the world is trending. Or we could have the free will, liberty, so to speak, to do as we will is Crowleyan, but do as we see best and do the best we can. Everything's not going to be perfect in this world. And hey, if you don't believe in the Most High or don't believe in any type of deity, that's on you. And I'm not gonna preach, whatever. But I mean, just the bad. That's how I rectify personally the bad thing. Why do bad things happen? Because we have free will, and this is why inner peace is needed. And that's why, you got to come to peace as an individual with yourself and with the world, whether you're using some religion or some spirituality or not, or the opposite. Everyone has to do their best. Boot Hill. Shout out to Boot Hill. Shout out to Missouri. Shout out to Springfield. You know what? One thing I will cover since it was sort of brought up. I brought up Gonzo. This is a thing. This is a thing. I thought I kind of spoke this into existence. I think somebody was talking about Sesame Street, and I thought that made somebody gay. I think Bert and Ernie actually are officially gay now. But yeah, Gonzo is transitioning. This is for your kids. They're normalizing this shit. It's really disturbing what they've done with a lot of our properties, a lot of things that we grew up on, and unfortunately maybe raising our kids on. But yeah, Catholic League president, which I'm not going to talk about the fucking Catholics, but accuses Disney's Muppet Babies of child abuse for promoting transitioning with episode featuring cross-dressing Gonzo. And I mean, it probably is. Is this the first time a kid's ever cross-dressed on a cartoon? Actually, no. The latest episode of Disney's Muppet Babies has accused of abuse by Catholic League President Bill Donahue over how it depicts series male mainstay Gonzo as a dress-wearing princess and believes it's an attempt to normalize the transgender ideology that a boy can be a girl and vice versa. It is. It's called Gonzo-rella, so this is like not just a joke. It's a feature of the episode. And it's based on Cinderella, it looks like. And he's upset because he's a prince. He wants to wear a princess dress to the royal ball, but the girl said he wasn't supposed to because he's a boy. They're right. How long is this article? Sorry. Okay. Let's see. I'll go through the article. As the episode unfolds, Rizzo eventually reveals to himself Gonzo's fairy rat father and grants the blue muffin his wish, giving him a blue dress, akin to the one Cinderella has worn, and countless iterations of the folktale, most notably Disney's version. In the classic Cinderella fashion, the fairy rat father's magic wears off at the strike of cake o'clock, which I guess is just whatever time it is, and Gonzo-rella's dress disappears. And by the end of the episode, Gonzo reveals to the other Muppets that he was the mysterious princess all along, saying that he didn't reveal this fact sooner because you all expected me to look. Oh, Jesus Christ. The episode also reinforcing the idea that using non-binary pronouns, as Piggy uses they pronoun in reference to Gonzo's alter ego, recalling how the unknown princess has suddenly left the ball. Well, you would say they left the ball, but Jesus Christ. I mean, because remember, you did use the term they in general. And your bugs definitely use, I don't know about sexy. The bugs did drag, he did drag it up. And Elmer Fudd fell for it every time. But that was used for jokes, which is still probably disturbing and probably priming us for this. If you're a long game conspiracy theorist in hell, so my man Bigger for Entertainment was popping. Gonzo's popping, apparently. He's twerking now. And I'm going to address the one comment, Wookie, before getting back into it, but I want to read the story. Given a princess is a title given to a female member of her family, and Piggy was referring to a singular. Okay. Yeah, they're trying to use the non-binary, even though you might say they went to the store. You know what I mean? But it is also a non-binary thing. So apparently it got ratioed on the YouTube channel. And very early on, wanted to do an episode with God. Yeah, so this is intended. This is intended. They said they're coming for your kids, and they weren't lying. Yeah, saddening. Sadness. So, Wookie says, ruling your life by ancient fairy tale books written by primitives doesn't seem like a smart move. Even if there's good stuff in it. Winnie the Pooh says very good things, but I'm not living life by Pooh. Man, the Bible has a lot more. It's not primitive, man. It's a lot in there. It's a lot in there. And I mean, hey, you gotta direct your life some way. I don't know. I mean, I don't think the lack of it has been any better, because if you have people praying to altars of wokeness without it, so it's not like I don't know what humans are crazy, bro. There ain't no free lunch with any behavior that humans do. So, like, I don't know what the expectations of what humanity is gonna be are for you, but there's not like humans will figure a reason to fuck things up. Rather there's a book or not. Rather there's a religion or not. If there's no religion, they'll make one up. And that's a human trait. So I figure I'll use what's best for me and what works for me. And hey, everybody has to use what works for them. And it's not actually funny. I guess talking about the cross-dressing thing. I guess nah. I mean, you know, some of the old Looney Tunes cartoons are fun. And rather introduce kids to Dr. Seuss than most of what's on television today. Well, he's canceled. He's too racist. Okay, my new name is Star. I identify as being a shiny orb in the sky. That's my gender, and identity is Star. My man from what is it, The Flash? He identifies as a tree. So I mean, sure, I believe you, rough girl. And Elmer did fall for it. I think I talked about it. Children's Entertainment. It's for deranged adults. It's for convincing kids this is normal. I think deranged adults are the most likely to watch. But here's what happens, man. A lot of parents just toss their kids in front of something and walk away. So a lot of parents are going to toss their kids in front of old Gonzo in the dress here. They're going to toss their kids in front of this and walk away. And look on someone on social media they can cheat on their spouse with. That's what's going to happen. Or if they're not with their spouse already, because divorce or whatever, just looking for another person to bone instead of watching the creepers who want to bone their kids. And his dress is tight though. Right? Give me those shoes. Geez. Give me your cocktail fruit. Yeah, this was thoroughly thought out and purposely introduced. Agreed. Sodom and Gomorrah. I think that's what you got. Camaro. Sodom and Camaro. What is this world coming to? Can't think of the record that's sampled from. What's society coming to? A shit show. The end of Revelation. The days of Noah. Read it. Ezekiel was on mescaline. That's gonna be hate speech. What too? The Bible. Not since we're talking about it. Yeah, Sodom and Gomorrah. Clearly, it's too funny. Gonzo is a weirdo. Very true. Safer, yes, it's much safer to stick with Saturday morning cartoons. And honestly, though, on YouTube, there's a lot of streams, or not streams, but you can find like Saturday cartoon blocks. So if you want to just like, man, I'd rather, have my kids watch the old stuff. It can be done, man. It takes work, it takes effort, but it can be done. But then I have no kids, so I only take what I say with a grain of salt. By rejecting traditional values rather than creating on enlightenment, they seem to be regressing society in a model more akin to the Gombe chimpanzee war of 74 to 78 than anything civilized. I'm not aware of that. What is that? James Hayes. Was it Joshua who fought the Baal? Jericho, the walls came tumbling down. Break the walls down. Okay, that's about Jericho, obviously. That's where he gets the reference from. You're probably right. I'll be honest. I'm not a super duper expert in that. That'll probably give me some shit. I know a good portion, but there's a lot of stuff in the New Testament that just all meshes together, and I'm not as well versed with, not New Testament, Old Testament, which is the part that we all need to learn just as much as the new one. Captain Caveman, hell, David Serta. And James Hayes says absolutely. Or Rough Girl says James Hayes, absolutely. Yep, they're coming for your children. They told you that. And they're not lying. That was not a joke. That's real. They are coming for your kids. They are trying to teach you they are trying to demasculinize the men in the society and the boys in the society, and masculinize the women. And what happened to Underdog? There's no need to fear. Underdog is here. I'm not sure. I know they did a cartoon like in the 2000s, and I don't want them to reboot anything because they'll probably put Underdog in a dress or make a female underdog that's better than him in every way, because those are the two favorite things. But yeah, I remember Underdog. Yeah, the Hanna-Barbera cartoons. Those were dope. But now that I think about it, there's probably some things to grab on physical media if you have them. If you don't have it, Scooby-Doo and the Fat Albert. I like Scooby-Doo. I like the 70s Scooby-Doo where they had like guest stars, Batman and Robin, Don Knotts and shit like that. That was dope. And yeah, they're trying to fund the mentally weak in America. It's worked. I mean, I hate to be, quote unquote black pilled, because I'm really not, but I do have my moments. And they've already won. They've already won on at least a battle. I don't think they'll win the war ultimately. At least I hope not. But they've definitely won a lot of battles. Man. So and the reason they won so many battles is because there's so many core pillars of society that has been grabbed. And we let it happen without not knowing. And yet Foghorn Leghorn would be raised just for being Southern. And they are going for those. And as far as physical media, David Serta has the original Johnny Quest on Blu-ray. Yeah, they are going for those. And unfortunately, they're probably going to get them. Republicans don't care, man. A lot of people are into the conservatives, hoping they'll save them. They don't give a shit. My man Raphael Edward, aka Ted Cruz, he's just a rhino, man. And a lot of people believe in that motherfucker. Actually, didn't say rhino. That's what politicians are. What they are. They're fucking liars. Good luck door to door. I think they might try something brutal. They've already really normalized dehumanizing a lot of people. They've dehumanized people who ask questions about the damn jab step. Even if you're using facts, they have really dehumanized that. And speaking of which, man, I'm so pissed about that damn jab step and where that's headed. That I like, if I see a channel that's in favor of like that medical tyranny shit, it may not even have anything to do with this. They could be talking about something else, but I catch a whiff of that. Unsub, do not recommend channel. I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to hear from you because I'm not going to want to hear from you when we're all in fucking gulags. Oops, sorry about that. Culture of the country is very different than it was in the 70s and not for the better. Nope. Or even the 90s. Even the 90s. I wanted to be an adult in the 90s, not now. And yes, keep your physical media. I'm trying to gain more and more. Do not trust the cloud. Lost a lot of movies that disappear. I've lost a lot of stuff I've bought digitally. Hello, I'm here to collect your firearms. Yeah, right. I don't think it's that. I think they're kicking in the door, waving the fofo. These red flag laws, they're kicking in your door. They're calling you an extremist, and they're taking you to the gulags. And they've normalized. They've framed society to where people won't even think twice about it. The chimpanzees war started. Show what happened when one tribe of chimps split into two, and how the one with more power decides to murder the other regardless of kinship, while the smaller seems clueless. Holy smokes. Come for my still leaving my land. I'm sure, listen, I'm not going to deny that. I think that's what a lot of people, soon some people will be successful in defending themselves from that. And I wish you well and pray that you're on that side. But I'm expecting something brutal. I'm expecting some Georgia Guidestone shit, personally. But I hope I'm wrong. We'll see. Or maybe that's just how it's supposed to be. Yeah, they are asking neighbors to snitch, but snitches do get stitches in the farm. The one thing is, certain areas of the country are less likely to fuck with that mentality. They're gonna hell no, they're gonna cut me down if it actually comes to that. That I'm worried about some massive event. Or I mean shit. We live in a world where McAfee can happen. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? This is already on. They're already letting you know they could just put you to sleep in front of everybody and just say, what are you gonna do about it? They've been doing it for years. Arkancides happen. And I think that tactic will be used on a wider scale. And that's what I'm expecting. So sorry to go black pill, but that's unfortunately what I'm expecting because that's where they're trending. That's why they dehumanize you. That's why we're all dehumanized. Sorry about that. We got to hydrate or die, so to speak. And it's worrying. It's very worrying. So I kind of hoped to not be, but I mean, how can you not talk about it, right? How can you not talk about it? That's why this medical tyranny shit scares the shit out of me. Yeah. Is this the case? All started with software as far as physical media. All Microsoft copies are gone from eBay. Can't even get a new Windows 10 key code. I did not know that. I had one, from this old PC. That's bullshit. Yeah, they're trying to cloud up everything with software. That sucks. Hell no. I already got that. Did the same thing in Germany, right, Wolf Girl? You're talking about the snitches thing. Yeah, that is a tactic. It is scary. It's really funny. Kind of disturbing exactly how many billionaires are quitting work to moving to New Zealand. I didn't know about that, James Hayes. I had no idea. But yeah, the world is getting scary. The world has gotten really scary. I don't know where we're going to be in 10 years. And it happened. I like to say it happened fast, but it really didn't. You can see if you read the tea leaves, this has been coming for at least 30, 40. It's been coming longer than that. I mean, it's been coming for a while. They really, I don't want to get too conspiracy theory, Um, and Pop Culture Republic's no Microsoft on eBay. That's odd. Glad I'm still on Win 7s Pro. Yeah, if you had a Windows code, good for you, man. I had a Windows 10 code from a few years ago, and that's what I used. I paid for it. It wasn't illegal. There are a lot of people on the flight list. Are moving there. Isn't that interesting? That is interesting. I take it you mean he who did not McAfee himself. I'm using that term now. Antivirus himself before there was antivirusing. Whose girlfriend's last name is Maxwell. I'm on that list. Went to a certain island, so to speak. Man. And they're running out of land. So is Switzerland. Really? That is wild. God, this world is getting crazy. I didn't know about that. That's scary. What are they doing there? I have a few, but it's always good to have a few more. Yeah. Any media you can get, physical, whether it's a software, whether it's an album, movie, whatever you can get as much as you can, because it will not be available forever. This is going to be in 10, 15 years, you'll wish you would have got more DVDs and Blu-rays, because it'll be like, oh man, I don't have that tape or that. It's just going to be an obsolete technology. They're forcing us into cloudness. They're forcing us. Alex will tell you all about it. Oh boy. The World Information, who may be controlled ops himself. Not that he hasn't been right on a ton of stuff. He has. But I mean, one of the things they've done successfully is diminish and make dismissal, make it so they can dismiss the things that are true, the things that are valid. They've made it so a lot of it's a conspiracy theory. Doesn't mean it's untrue. You're right. It is a theory on a conspiracy. It is a theory on people conspiring. Doesn't mean it's untrue. But they've made it, we can dismiss it, even though it's valid, even though it's provable. Look what's happened with the jab. It is very much provable. Look what's happened with this whole Koof thing in general. How much of it can be provable? But they've made it dismiss. You're just an anti-vaxxer. You know what I mean? That they've made your arguments that have validity. Well, what about these people who've had side effects? What about the people who've been reinfected, who have been jabbed? Oh, you're just an anti-vaxxer. I'm not wrong. You're the one who said believe the science. What is the science telling you? Oh, well, you must be one of those right wingers. You're bad. You're Trump support. Whatever. Who cares? Am I right or not? Doesn't matter. The mainstream media has brainwashed people to believing that your opinion is invalid, even if it's provable. They've literally made it so the facts don't matter. Facts don't care about your feelings. Well, the fucking powers to be don't care about your facts. And Disney acting all saintly. Had tar baby rappers in their movies of the week were scary as hell. Yeah, they had a lot of demonized shit. Disney has. They've had a lot of demonized shit. And yeah, this is very true, Wookie. The term conspiracy theory was invented by the CIA to dismiss valid questions. And again, the term itself does not necessarily mean you're incorrect. It's just a term they've used to shame people from asking questions. And they've gaslit people into believing asking valid questions are incorrect. They've gaslit people into believing that, well, if someone has this opinion, regardless if it's provable, they think wrong. They're right wing extremists. They're conspiracy theory. The QAnon, which was that was another way of shaming people. Now I didn't really get into that thing. Canon, I probably shouldn't even said it. Canon. But That was a way of shaming people so anything closely linked to something that's off the wall, even though we're in a post such and such island world where some wacky conspiracy theories have been proven and presented to the public, even though we're post that world, anything crazy, oh, you must be one of those canon people. You believe in that. What's wrong with you? Like, nah, I'm just that was used to invalidate information. So if some of it was valid, they taught some other bullshit that wasn't. And having access to the Department of Defense, there's nothing I can say that won't sound crazy or turn me into crazy black girl. Trust your instincts. But Dr. Foucault, Dr. Fuck Off, that's what I like to call him. Most people equate conspiracy theory with crazy and stupid. Yep. That's the whole point. Dr. Fuck Off, when he funds that lady that created the research about the pandemic, or just plain false. Yep. So yeah. It's funny. When asked what do we do to combat, one of my biggest things is prayer, which I know is not going to be for everyone in the chat. And hey, you know, I would say if you're a weapons person, make sure you're trained. So some of us may survive. So the better you are at being trained, you can survive whatever craziness they will be throwing at us. CIA was going after me. Wow. No audio stream. Yeah, I don't know what happened. My internet died. Rough Girl has to pack for Vegas before the world gets locked down again. All right, Rough Girl, appreciate you being here. I'll see you later. Positive Woosah. Yeah. Welcome back. Yeah. I guess who's back again? Yeah, I don't know what happened. Please refresh. I'll actually toss that in the chat. Please refresh. I should be back. Those in the chat. Have a good night, Rough Girl. You stay safe, and you also be forever true. And so, yeah, I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure if me talking shit. I did restart my VPN and restarted StreamYards, so I'm back. So who knows? Maybe the powers that be did knock me off, or maybe my internet fucked up. Who knows which is the truth? Only the Most High knows. But I will we talk. I will want to end on something positive. Let's see. It was, and actually, it's more of a question before I get into it, because I do have a positive story. Did anybody see Superman and Lois? Because I haven't seen the series, and I've wanted to see the series, but I wanted to wait until it was done, like the season was done, because I'm so tired of fucking bait and switches. So had anybody been watching it, and how much is the series or the season done? And yes, reload the page or app so I can come back. Had nothing to do with me. Okay, well, at least the rough girl didn't do it. Someone else in DOD could have. It's funny. We live in a world where we actually seriously wonder if we've been censored by an agency when that trouble occurs. Absolutely. Well, listen, you have to worry if anyone on the stream who's asking questions, not just me, if I go down and if I'm going to be Arkansided, that's a real worry. Somebody could just take the stream down, put me to sleep, and that's it. That's the world we live in. Welcome to communism. And no, I guess James Turner did not watch Superman Lois, but Pop Culture Republic has. And this is why I keep hearing it's pretty good so far. Pretty good. And I want to check it out. Apparently, at least according to Bounty, they messed around with the Doomsday, or at least the death of Superman. I'm not sure how many episodes they've gone with this. And I'm not sure. I mean, it's one of the two best shows on CW. The other one is Stargirl. I heard a bunch of good stuff on Stargirl. So I guess they have to close out the season. And I'm not sure how much longer it is. Mr. H Review loves it, but he also loved Loki. I haven't. They must have unsubbed me from Mr. H Review. Sometimes they'll unsub me. They did the same thing with Clownfish, where they unsub me from him, and then I don't see their videos for a while. And I don't forget about them, but I just, out of sight, out of mind. I haven't checked his stuff out in quite a while. And a lot of people like Loki. Listen, there's a class, and I understand that. I talked about how I like the Suicide Squad. There's a part of people, and I have it too, is like, man, I just want to fucking watch something. I will deal with, I'll hold my nose on certain things if you can be charming and entertaining. And so I can't get mad at somebody for doing that because I get it. Even if, I wouldn't with that property, I'm sure there's something I would hold my nose. If it's entertaining enough or charming enough or there's a charismatic enough lead, I may hold my nose and say, oh, this is cool. So that could have happened. And a lot of people did that with Loki. A lot of people said, well, I got Tom Hiddleston. I'll hold my nose and deal with everything else. And this is why I use browser, even if they unsub. I have a bookmark. See, I should be bookmarking people, right? And never navigate from the YouTube site. That's probably smooth to bookmark more people outside just subbing. So yeah, please bookmark Vigilante Williamson, because I'm sure you're not going to get fucking notifications. The rest of the CW Arrowverse has been unwatchable to me. Lost track of Arrow Flash, others about 3 seasons ago. It's been longer than that for me. It was about 3rd or 4th season of Arrow where I started to kind of fade off with everything. I'm back. My GF made me watch her. Watch her what? Or should I ask? But hey, enjoy time with your girlfriend. As much as I'm glad you guys are here, you should probably be enjoying time with your girlfriend, man. It's probably more important than watching my crazy ass. So I was talking about Superman and Lois. I hope it's good. I hope it stays good. I'm actually going to see how many more episodes of Superman and Lois are left before I can actually check it out and binge it. I just don't want bait and switch. It doesn't look, at least by everyone's response, it doesn't look like it's something that's baited or switched. Jesus, looking it up, looking up Screen Rant. Oh man, I guess they took a lot of breaks. That's really a terrible part. So 15 episodes are the total amount, and the season 1 finale would have been. So maybe it is done. I'm looking at this site called Showbiz Cheat Sheet, and no, there's an episode. No, let me see episodes. No, it goes to the 17th. So the 17th is the last episode. So in a couple weeks. She's crazier than you, I guess. Hey, I appreciate you being here, though. Oh, man, did I get yeeted? A lot of people left. Arrow's good for the first 2 seasons. Cool. What will be right back? I did like Arrow the first 2. I like the first 2 seasons of Arrow really a whole lot. They killed viewership by pausing and restarting so many times. Yeah, there was no straight through. Good Lord. Lots of pauses. It's confusing to see how many episodes there is. So they have a couple more weeks. Next week is the penultimate episode, and a week after will be the season finale. And then after that, so long as you can get through that without baiting and switching, I will check it out. And I kind of want to check it out. And I'm not sure. You know what? I'm not sure if there's been some nefariousness about some of that pause. I know a lot of it was the coof, and so that initial pause was the coof. And it also looks like they ordered. This is supposed to be a 13 episode season, and it became 15. So there was some extra filming because it went longer than they initially intended. So there's that as well. But yeah, I definitely think that probably hurt it. And I know what's hurt my stream is all this pausing and issues. So I'm not sure what happened. Not sure how many people are left, but we're going close to 2 hours. So as doom and gloom as this episode has been, I really appreciate everyone who's been here, everyone who's liked and shared the stream, and anyone who may have been watching the playback. Thank you as well. Let's go home with something positive because we always want to end with something positive here on the channel if we can. A woman keeps a family of 3 from drowning, and then a human chain pulls them all in. A mother and a former lifeguard was near Thetis Lake near Victoria, British Columbia, with her family, when she heard a man in the water crying for help. He was struggling to keep his wife and son afloat. Rosa Corey made sure her daughter was safe before sprinting into the water. She had a 4-month daughter, and she checked to make sure she was safe with her mother, and bolted in and ran down the hill. She completed lifeguard training about 20 years ago, but it didn't teach her how to rescue a group, and I couldn't imagine it did. She said, I think I just grabbed all the limbs I could and tried to remember my lifeguard training, which was a long time ago when I was a teenager, and tried to tow them in, she recalled. Corey said her goal was to drag the family close enough to ensure that they could catch their footing, but it wasn't easy. During the process, onlookers made a human chain and reached out to her, grabbing her arm and pulling her and the family close enough to get a foothold. Wow. So shout out to not just her, but the people who onlooked and instead of just looked to put it on TikTok or put it on social media actually helped. So shout out to all those people. See, this is why I read positive stories. We can talk so much about fucked up the government and the powers that be are, but you see, when people are in actual need, humans just help each other. Not only did she jump into action, but so did onlookers. Instead of just looking and whatever, they said, no, let's help her, help them, and they helped pull that family to safety. Corey said the family was in shot, gasping in the air when they were safe on shore, but appeared to be okay. And the father thanked her in between gasps of breath. So this is a great story. Shout out to not just Rosa Corey, but everyone else who was at Thetis Lake in British Columbia on that day who created a human chain of people to help her save this family and help this family. So this just proves again, we can talk how fucked up this state is and fucked up the powers that be are and how much they're trying to divide us, and they're successful with that. But you see, human beings, they didn't ask for papers, please. They didn't argue about politics. No one, it was human beings are in need. We need to help. The end. And they just, she was a lifeguard 20 years ago. She doesn't know she doesn't remember everything. She just fucking jumped into action and helped. And then people watching her say, oh, fuck, we just have to jump into action and help. We just have to help. And people do care about each other. That's why I do these positive stories. So we can remember, oh yeah, the human condition does have some positive to it. It isn't just evil. There's good there too. You got to remember the good. And we'll have to be right back. I already did that. Dave Serta is still here, which is cool. And it's also Pop Culture Republic is talking about cool stories here. And until now, what is back? Yeah, people helping each other. Rancid, Life Won't Wait. I haven't heard that song. Yeah, life can be fucked up, but there are good people in it. And you guys are good people. You guys are good people as well. And I thank you all for joining me on these streams as I endeavor to make myself and the channel better, provide a better product for you guys, or better whatever you call this. And you know, hopefully I added to your Saturday night going into Sunday morning. Those are still up. So if you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do that. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching and thank you for your time. Good night and God bless. I appreciate everybody who was here. I will see you all later. Peace.